Last month, J.D. Durkin was on the ground in Las Vegas for Money2020, where he sat down with top executives, including U.S. Bank Shruti Patel, to unpack the biggest themes shaping the future of finance. Take a listen.
Well, I think AI continues to be a big theme, carried over from last year. We saw a lot of it last year in terms of agentic commerce, ChatGPT, integration of AI into workflows, and how do we drive more automation. This year, I'm particularly excited about stablecoins and tokenized deposits, all things digital currencies, especially as we think about corporate commercial international money movement. I think the verdict is still out there on how small businesses and consumers will think about tokenized deposits and stablecoins and some of the potential use cases, but definitely excited by the buzz.
I'd love to ask you about your regular survey of small business sentiment, what they are seeing on the backdrop of the macro economy between interest rates, expectations for the Fed, tariff and trade policy. What are small businesses telling you that they are seeing across the U.S. economy?
That's a great question. So we do an annual small business survey each year. This was our third year, and really it's across all of our footprint markets as well as customers who are not banking with us, but small businesses across the country. And a few themes really emerged this year. Not surprisingly, access to capital still remains very top of mind given the interest rate environment and the expectation from the Feds. Inflation continues to drive consumer sentiment. And I think especially this year, there is heightened concern around tariffs and what the impact of tariffs will do both on small business cash flow as well as consumer sentiment in terms of spending. We are coming up on the holiday season, so there is definitely some concern from small businesses in terms of the volume of demand they are going to see. But we also continue to hear things around automation and how they are going to leverage AI to drive their businesses more efficiently, especially because the cost of doing business is rapidly rising up, given both the inflation cost as well as the supply chain disruption issues.
I would have to imagine if you're an average small business owner, you have a whole suite of options with regards to how do I leverage, how do I use artificial intelligence on behalf of my small business. What does the survey tell you about some of the ways small business owners are leaning into that emerging technology? And where do you feel U.S. Bank most plays a role in that relationship?
Small businesses are acutely aware of both their inflows and outflows. So cash flow management and operating their businesses on razor-thin margins is very top of mind. And the ways they are leveraging AI is how can they bring the cost of their operations down. And so a lot of what we are hearing from small businesses is personalized recommendations, smart assistant. If they are running even a two-person back office in terms of catering to customer servicing, how can they leverage AI instead? They're also using them for emails and marketing operations. How can they think about mass email marketing, mass search, all of the above, which could be done with a headcount or an employee, but replace it with AI instead. And then, within large corporations, we are hearing a lot of AI demand around fraud detection and underwriting. How can they actually strengthen their firewalls, detect early fraud, and actually even leverage them for back office operations like underwriting. In our small business customer base, access to capital remains top of mind. So any way we can leverage AI to actually strengthen up our underwriting processes and accelerate speed, we're all game.
And there's no doubt a lot of those back office operations, specifically for small businesses, they deal with things like payroll, bill paying. We're seeing tremendous innovation in that space. What have been a few of the key standouts that you've seen as those underlying technologies are changing and perhaps offering more opportunities for small business owners?
That's a great question. So we are one of the only other bank who has a merchant acquiring, a payments business in the top 10. And we have been on the journey, very intentional and strategic shift in terms of how do we bring together our banking, our payments, and software businesses all together. Across our banking suite, we have a very robust set of operating accounts, money markets, savings. We have great lines of credit. Our SBA practice, is number one in California. We are number four across the country because we understand that access to capital is really important for small businesses. We recently launched a suite of products in terms of how do we bring this integrated experience across banking, payments, and software together. We have Business Essentials, which bundles our payment acceptance product with an operating balance, because we know the starter entrepreneur is looking for a very simple operating balance, no fees, unlimited digital transactions, same-day availability of funds. We are pairing that with our payment acceptance products on the back of Elevon, which is our merchant acquiring business. And then in addition to that, we partnered with a number of fintechs. They are tech-led. Their mission and purposes align well to ours. We launched Bill Pay, which is really helping our businesses in cash flow management with Melio Pfizer. We also partnered with Gusto, which is a leading fintech in embedded payroll, and we just released payroll. And so the idea behind bringing all of this together is how do we close that flywheel for our small businesses to bank with us, to do payment acceptance with us, but also run some of their back offices, whether it's paying a bill or paying an employee, paying a vendor, all within the banking interface.
As we roll on, not just here in Q4, but with a look ahead to 2026 and beyond, what are you looking for? How do you expect the small business landscape and the overall ecosystem for small business owners to continue to evolve?
I would say access to capital, given the macro environment and the uncertainty around the impact of tariffs, is going to be still very top of mind. We are doubling down on our access to capital across the footprint markets. We want to help our small businesses either start a business or with maturing, help them with equipment financing and other capabilities. I think in addition to access to capital, what small businesses are really looking for are just tools, whether that's leveraging AI or automation in terms of running their back office very efficiently, because very often what we hear from our customers is how can I bring my back office cost down, whether that's employee cost, whether that's marketing cost, or just the cost of doing business. And so I think those two will continue to remain very top of mind.
Thank you to U.S. Bank CPO for Business Banking, Shruti Patel, and of course, J.D. Durkin for that interview.